I think I've touched on ACLs enough. Um, I was going to talk about how to avoid ACL injury. You know what? I am going to talk about ACL injury prevention. How do you exactly avoid it? How do you avoid it? And with this whole situation, what you need to realize is what is in your control and what is not in your control. What is in your locus of control? What can you take control of? And what is completely out of control? I'll give you an example. Whether or not you are mentally engaged, if you're a player, whether or not you are mentally engaged and focused during your warm up, remember the warm up that can prevent injury by 30%, that is up to you. That is up to you. What you cannot control is you playing on a team and they have 3 games in 4 days. That's not great for risk reduction either, but that's not in your control. In particular, things that are in control are the following. 1, your warm up. Doing a warm up is in your control. If your team doesn't do a warm up, you can do it at home before you leave. You can go arrive at the pitch early, do it there. It's totally in your control. You can do a warm up. You can Google one, you can YouTube one, you can follow my Instagram for one. They are everywhere. You can find a warm up, you do it. That is in your control. Gym programming. If you look up the FIFA 11 Plus, there is a whole section for strength, a whole section for strength, and it works. It works. It's simple. It's basic. It requires zero equipment. You do it at home. You can do it on the field. You can do it. It's there. If your team has a gym program that you do together, maybe you play for a high school or a college, are you half-assing your workout? Are you half-assing your workout? Are you mentally engaged? Did you even go to the workout? Did you even go? That's a valid question. I know people who skip workouts all the time. It's your body, it's your career. If that is available to you, then you should be going. You should be taking advantage of that. And if it's not available to you, again, you can look up a program and do it on your own. FIFA 11 Plus, body weight exercises, 6 of them. It'll take you 20 minutes. Done. The things that are outside of your control when preventing ACL injury, again, they're out of your control, but what you can do is you can start to ask some questions. And if I was an athlete that was concerned about ACL injury, I would ask a few questions. If my team doesn't do dynamic warm-ups, if we simply jog a few laps and go out and play after, I would ask the question to my coach, why don't we do dynamic warm-ups as a team? Why don't we do dynamic warm-ups as a team? It's a valid question. Completely valid. Why don't you ask this question? Why doesn't our club have access to a fitness coach? Why doesn't our club have access to a fitness coach or physio or just somebody who, kind of specializes in that area of expertise? Why don't we have access to them? This question is doubly valid if your club is in a pay-to-play model, because that means there's money flowing everywhere. We got money for trips. We got money to play 3 games in 4 days. We got money to take a bus down to Georgia. We got money for this. We got money for that. We have the newest gear. We still have last year's gear. We have so much gear. We have money for 4 refs. We have money for this, money for... Why don't we have access to something that can prevent an injury from happening that will take out an entire year of athlete participation? These are valid questions you need to ask, because the number one ability is availability. If you're not available, you can't play. Your gear is useless. Your travel is useless. Your hotel's useless. Your tournament's useless. Your showcase is useless if you can't play. And if you have an ACL injury, your season's done. 9 to 12 months. Another question to ask, and this is where things start to get a little edgy, is let's say, you have a tournament showcase weekend, 3 games, 4 days, 4 games, 5 days, 5 games, 6 days, 3 games, 1 day, 4 games, 2 days. It happens. Yes, it happens. For those of you listening from overseas, this is America, and we tend to do things like let's play 3 games in 1 day, and let's wonder why we get injured. We need to ask our environment the question of, what is our plan to manage player workload? Are we going to? Is that even in the cards? That's a valid question to ask, I think, especially in your environment. If you're in an environment where these injuries happen frequently, it's totally valid. I would start to ask these questions. I really, really would. But I need everyone to know that you can reduce, anybody, share this with a friend. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. You can reduce your risk of ACL injury dramatically by doing a proper warm-up, by having a strength and conditioning program. In fact, let me share this with you guys right now. Let me share this to you, because this has, guys, when I tell you we don't need more research, we don't. Because a lot of really smart people have broken down exactly what you need to do to reduce your risk of ACL injury. They've broken it down to a science, a complete science. So what I'm going to do is share with you guys right now exactly what those recommendations were. So let me go ahead and put this on your screen right now. And I'm going to have to shift over this way. And boom. Oh, damn it. I got rid of myself again. Hold up. There we go. We're downloading the right file now. Sorry about this, guys. I thought I had my whole situation situated. Turns out, first time doing anything tends to be a little bit of a mess. But I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And there we go. So, how do you reduce your risk of ACL injury? A lot of it we've covered on the stream thus far. 1, general warm-up. If you're not doing it, do it. It's free. 2, general strength training. Get in the gym. If you don't have a program, look up FIFA 11 Plus. You can do it at home, after training, wherever you want, whenever you want. Zero equipment reduces lower body injury risk by 30%. Do it. Plyometric training. Hopping, jumping, landing. Super important. Knowing how to land. ACLs tear during landing and hyperextension and rotation. You have to learn how to land effectively if you want to reduce your risk of ACL injury. It has to happen. It's in the FIFA 11 Plus. If you do that program, it's included. Single leg strength. So not only working out in the gym with both legs together, like a goblet squat, trap bar, front squat, overhead squat, back squat. Train one leg at a time. Forward lunge, side lunge, reverse lunge, rear foot elevated, split squats. If you do the FIFA 11 Plus, it's included. Single leg balance, balancing on one leg, balancing with your eyes closed, balancing while catching an object, balancing while someone's pushing you around, balancing while landing. You see how those two go together? Guess what? If you do the FIFA 11 Plus, it's included. Do the FIFA 11 Plus. It's important to know that balance on its own is not a sole prevention strategy. If you just do the balance portion of it, it's not effective. Why? Because you're not working on strength. You're not working on your warm-up. You're not working on single leg strength. Muscle activation. Getting a little activation going before your training or your matches. If you do the FIFA 11 Plus, it's included. Injury prevention during preseason. During preseason, I am looking at you, NCAA athletes. With an 11-day preseason, that is not enough. That is not enough. And I can guarantee you, your main focus during preseason is imbalance. It's not plyometrics. It's not strength. It's frankly survival. So what you need to do is start all of this. I don't even want to use the term preseason. I actually disagree with that. I would say off-season and preseason. Working on balance, working on reaction, working on single leg strength, all of that during the off season. Make sure that is your standard so you can continue that going into the preseason. That's what needs to happen. During the season, 20 plus minutes of injury prevention 2 to 3 times a week. What does that look like? Balance, and pretty much everything on this list. Strength training, plyometric training, single leg strength, single leg balance. All of that needs to happen during the season, 2 to 3 times a week for 20 to 30 minutes. Not 2 to 3, not 2 to 3 minutes, 20 to 30. That's what's necessary. This entire list was taken off this document you see right there. What does it say? Exercise-based knee and anterior cruciate ligament injury prevention. The people who wrote this document are some of the smartest in the world. That's like an ACL supergroup. If you want to look it up, go ahead, feel free. But they're extremely smart. They know what they're doing. They're the people who wrote everything. They need to be listened to. They give a lot of good recommendations, and a lot of them are being ignored. It needs to happen. It needs to happen at the youth level, the women's level, the men's level, the amateur level, semi-pro level, professional level, all levels of the game. It needs to happen. It needs to happen.